meteorologist Chase Jones.
Well, this weekend was a wild weekend of weather, but as we kick off that sort of third week of June, really counting down towards Juneteenth and the 4th of July, a little bit of cloud cover working its way in from the south. Now, tomorrow, a good run to those triple digits before we're on the cool down gradually into those lower 90s with some cold air making its way down from the north. Now, temperatures over the last 24 hours going from those 90s back down into those lower 70s, then a good 20-degree run back up into those mid-90s, and we're already on the cool down. We'll see how quickly we get back down into those 70s, but I think that's where we're going to level out all summer, unless you count tomorrow around those triple digits, right back down into those 70s, but we're staying inside of that 20, if not 30 degree spread. 94 in San Angelo, everybody else already in those lower 90s across the entire area. We've really just been sort of holding strong in the 90s all day. It's still 100 degrees in Robert Lee, still 93 down there in Sonora. 9 degrees if you want to count Brady over there off towards Robert Lee, but just inside that 10 degree spread. It doesn't matter today. It's just hot everywhere. This time last year, I know we were really close towards record-setting heat, and they're seeing some of it push through the area now. The heat wave's going to make its way into the Concho Valley. Right now, dew points are down there in those 60s and those 50s, if not some of those 70s, while humidity indices are still in those 30s and those 40s. Again, we're going to watch how much they make their way up into tonight, but if not, you just keep your eye on the cloud cover to give you a better idea of the moisture content in the atmosphere. Now, the moisture tracker is going to show you how the shades of blue will push out of the Concho Valley, but later this week, when it's going to start to fight its way back in. Now, this weekend, I know there is a parade, so I have my eye on some of those cooler temperatures and a little bit of rain if it decides it wants to show up. Upper level pattern is going to show you how the high pressure hanging out over us is slowly going to ooze off towards the east. As it ridges in, it's going to let this cold air slide in down from the north, and we're going to see the opposite of the heat dome than last year. This time, as we see some of that cold air working its way in, again, gradually cooling us into those lower 90s. Water vapor imagery really just showing you all that dry air sliding in from the west, but down around the Gulf Coast, keeping our eye on a very active tropical season. Now, not a whole lot going on as far as the Atlantic, but over the Pacific, a monster storm is starting to develop. Now, severe weather outlook just going around the Concho Valley today and primarily sticking to the north. That's with that high pressure hanging out across the southern part of the United States, and really around the Concho Valley down at the surface, seeing a whole lot of those weather alerts, some severe weather popping off around Nebraska, but it's really going to take aim at Oklahoma. Take a good look at the convection pushing up around the Gulf Coast region. We're on the unstable side of that high pressure. It's going to continue to pull all of it up around the coast of Mexico, around Brownsville, and then head off towards the northeast. When we take a good look down at the tropics, keeping our eye on tropical disturbance 1. It has a 90% chance of formation really in just the next 24 hours. You can see how it's starting to organize itself even more with that eye wall. Now, the data around this area pretty sparse, but we're going to keep our eye on it because some of that moisture could work its way up into the Concho Valley. Now, as we get closer towards the futurecast, you're going to see these storms just barreling across the United States. Again, that high pressure really just keeping it safe out of our area. More and more storms will continue to push off towards the northeast, where they'll continue to see severe weather erupt. Again, keep your eye around Oklahoma, and then you see some of that circulation making its way up from the Gulf Coast region around Thursday. Again, keeping the moisture tracker around that area. We watch some of those shades of blue push their way back in. So tonight, all the way back down into those 70s, we're watching this beautiful weather. Then tomorrow, a good run at those triple digits. So we're practicing all that hot weather safety. As soon as we get through a beautiful Taco Tuesday, we are on the cool down. We're going to drop all the way back down into those mid-90s by the parade. And then as we begin sort of that round the corner for 4th of July in those lower 90s, while those overnight lows hang out in those lower 70s. Stay tuned. We'll have more for the break. You're watching KSAN News at 6.